Have you ever been put in charge of a team but felt like you were still trying to figure things out for yourself? Oh my gosh, I have definitely been there before. Let me tell you. Hi, if you don't know me, I am Barika from Simply Unique Coaching, and I have been leading since 1997. And I like to say that I am the leader who learned in the trenches. And I want you to learn from my experience as a leader so that you can avoid common pitfalls that can happen to leaders. And sometimes when you're in leadership, you may feel like something is just you, like it's only happening to you. And this is the first time it's happened in the history of the world. But let me tell you that that is not the case. There are certain things that are common to leadership. I've led way more than 18 teams. And at this point, I can tell you that there are certain things that just come with leadership. But once you know how to resolve them and how to overcome them, then you take off and you have very happy teams that are happy to work for you and teams that you love leading. So let's talk about how to lead when you're still learning how to lead. So picture this, Sicily, 1990. No, just kidding. Had a Golden Girls moment there for a second. But a lot of people are promoted to leadership positions when they really are just good at what they do. And because they're good at what they do, someone in your company has decided that they believe in you and they are willing to invest in you and give you a shot and an opportunity to lead others. Okay. And unfortunately, what can happen is people are placed in these roles and in these positions, but they are not giving training on how to lead others. And leading is a skill that has to be learned. Yes, there is natural leadership that comes, and that comes with influence, and that comes with the ability to cause people to go in a certain direction to meet a goal or a particular outcome. However, there are strategies that you need to use depending on the teams that you're working with or the individuals you're working with, because no two individuals on your team are going to be alike and no two teams are really alike. So let me tell you about a time that I was very, very happy being an analyst and working hard in solving problems. I love solving problems. That's just how my mind is wired. I'm a very strategic thinker. And I was in a job kind of like, if you've ever seen the show Suits, kind of like that kind of work. And that show did not exist at the time, so I didn't even know what the type of work I really did was called, but it's actually called a fixer. So I was a fixer, and I worked with the team of fixers, and we were just awesome. And I loved that job, and I loved doing all the things that I was doing at the time. And then I was asked to take on a temporary leadership position because a new opportunity opened up and they needed to find somebody to fill in. And then I did the temporary position, and then I was encouraged to apply for the permanent position, which I did end up doing as well. Well, I did not really want to apply for that permanent position. I think I was okay with the temporary position because I knew it was temporary and I knew they were going to hire out for someone else. But I was very, very, very happy in my analyst job. I was very pleased in the work I did. I found it very fulfilling and satisfying. But, there were other plans made for me, and that was okay because that's why I'm able to be here today to help you with the things that I've learned, right? So let's talk about 5 practical ways that you can lead while you are still learning as a leader. One, be honest about not knowing what you don't know. You don't have to be insecure. I'm not saying be insecure. I'm not saying that you can't walk in the level of confidence that you have because you know what you know. And sometimes people think that that's arrogance, but when you know what you know what you know. And don't let people kind of tear you down for what you know. Like if you're confident in what you know, be confident in what you know. Now, also, be humble about what you don't know. Okay. And if you don't know something, ask people, make sure that you don't pretend to know everything because no one knows everything. We want to be transparent and we want to ask questions to those that we know are going to be helpful. And why do I say be humble? Well, when we're humble, people begin to trust us and they also are willing to help us. Okay. For the most part. Now, I have been on one job where I was honest about needing help because I was new and the people weren't helpful, but that's okay. I still got what I needed from other people who were going to be helpful and supportive. And so that's the know who your support system is. I'm going to say that because everyone is not going to be supportive to your success, but don't stop. When you realize that you get resistance from one area or one person or one department or whatever, you just figure out a way to get around it, an ethical way to get around it, a professional way to get around it. But, make sure that you don't let one person stop you and hinder you because they have a chip on their shoulder about something else that has nothing to do with you. But sometimes it does happen in the workplace, just being honest. Number 3, we want to lead by listening. So people feel valued when they are heard, and listening is going to be an important aspect of leadership. especially if the team members you're leading have more experience in that department or that role than you do, okay? Because sometimes you can come in as a new leader and you're gung ho and you're happy, and then you realize one of your team members has been in that department for 20 years. So they know technically they could be the leader, but they have chosen not to be the leader. So you want to make sure that you are listening to input. You make the final decision because you're the leader, but make sure you also let them know that they're valued, because that person is going to have more knowledge and more information that it could make your life easier and could make your job easier. So we want to make sure that we take that into consideration as well. Also, we want to find those micro mentors, right? Advent of technology is amazing. Now we have all of these things available to us. We have YouTube, we have podcasts, we have books, we have articles, we have all of these things that are available. Make sure you find a mentor, and that could be somebody that you're interacting with. I coach clients and I have clients that I'm working with. And Simply Unique Coaching has been around since 2021. And the idea came about out of the pandemic. I was thinking about, wow, what is it that I wish I would have known going into leadership that would have made my life easier? And I will tell you, for some of the other things that I do in my business and some of the other things that I do, I definitely don't have a problem getting a mentor, because if this person has been in this environment for 10, 11 years, and I can take a 12-month course and get a lot of that 10, 11, 12 years worth of knowledge, why not? Why not take the shortcut? Why do I want to work 10, 11, 12 years to get the same information when I can get it in 12 months, or, a good portion of it? So make sure you use the resources that are available to you, because there is no excuse not to be successful. Also, this is one of the things I am very, very huge on as a leader. Make sure that you are listening and you're adjusting, okay? Especially if you're new to leading, you want to get feedback. There is a balance, because there's something I talk about it in one of my leadership programs. You want to make sure that you take into consideration the input that people are giving you. You also have to have a bit of discernment to know when a person may be trying to manipulate you. This is the way I'm going to say it. I talk about it more in, like I said, one of my programs. There are unfortunately some people who try to manipulate leaders, and you want to be very, very, very discerning on, okay, is this a person that's trying to be helpful, or is this a person that's trying to, I don't know, do something weird where they're trying to control me as the leader? It is a thing. It is a thing. So you want to make sure that you know what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with and what their motives are. And you won't always necessarily know that. And for the most part, people are going to be helpful, the ones that want to help you. It's very rare that you'll run into some of these other people, but they do tend to be attracted to people who are in leadership, people who have influence, people who have money, and people who have power for some reason. So it's just something, we've seen it throughout history. So why does being honest with where we're at as a leader work? And this is one of the reasons why I love working with the clients that I work with, because these are individuals who have gotten to the point where they admit that they need some help, they need some support. And some of them have been leading for many years, but they get to the point where they just know something has to change. What I'm doing is not working, or I'm at the point where it's no longer effective and I'm not getting the results that I want to see out of my team, or I'm not seeing the growth in myself that I want to see. And with that, it's something where I want to make sure that they are the best that they can be. And I want to help cultivate the leadership that's in them out. And I want to give them different things to consider so that they can be the best that they can be, and that they can be as effective for their team as possible. So just keep in mind that leadership is a journey and it is not a sprint. Okay. Because even I heard about a new book that came out that someone was telling me about, where I think it's somebody from this particular generation that is leading other leaders, and they're talking from their perspective about leading people from their own generation. And I was like, "Man, that sounds like an interesting book." So I will read it first. And then if I like it, I just will link it, or maybe I'll just link it, and then you can just read it for yourself and decide what you think. But I do have that on my to-do list of books to read. I don't remember the name of it right now. But just know that you don't have to be perfect to be effective. And honestly, as a leader, I can tell you the people that I work with have respected me more when I was honest with them, when I said, "Oh, I'm not sure about this. Let me find out about this. I don't know the answer to this question, but I will do my best to find out." Or, because it could be something like where they said, "Well, why did leaders, the upper leadership decide to do X, Y, and Z?" And I could just say, honestly, I'm not sure. but this is what we've been told to do. So this is, and I can ask in the next meeting when I'm meeting with them, I can try to get more information and I'll share with you guys what I can. But in the meantime, this is the directive that we've been given. Okay. And so having those conversations with them is going to be effective, as well as, having those conversations. And I talked about in other videos, but getting their feedback and then reflecting on it and then talking about what can be improved. So make sure as a leader, you keep learning and you never stop growing. Now, I want you to tell me in the comments, what is the first skill that you feel like a leader should learn? Drop it in the comments and let me know. And if you want to learn strategies to help you navigate difficult conversations at work, I want you to watch this video next. And with that being said, make it an amazing day. Take care.